What's going on YouTube? It's your favorite blind guitarist back with another video. I'm gonna do something a bit different for you guys today. I'm gonna play a song. Alright, ready? Okay, now I'm really gonna play a song because I'm not a singer and I don't have a band and you don't want to hear me sing. But hopefully with this first chord, hopefully some of you said, "Oh my god, please tune your guitar." And you know, I can't tell you how many times I've sat in an audience or watched a guitar player play on stage, and they'll just be playing along, and their guitar will be about this bad out of tune, and they just keep going to the next song without tuning their guitar. And every time they end a song, I expect them to, you know, tune their guitar, look at their electronic tuner, do something. They just keep going with this. And my friends got tired of going to shows and stuff with me because I would always be like, you know, look over and elbow them, hey, they need to tune their guitar. And they're like, shut up, Blake, just let them play. And I'm like, no, this is important, they need a tune. You know, everyone can hear that it's out of tune. It drives me crazy. But I've since found out that I think a lot of players don't really know what to listen for when they tune. I don't think they know the subtleties that they're listening for. So a lot of people are just taught to get the pitches close, to get them to where they sound close and move on, and it's in tune. And most people use the traditional 5th fret method of tuning, where you match 5th fret to the string below it, or the harmonic method. I don't use the harmonic method. Just don't use it. The method that I'd like to show you guys is actually a very easy method using the open strings. And it involves, instead of listening to the pitches of two notes that sound the same, such as these two, we're going to actually learn the tune by using the interval of a fourth. So for example, the guitar is tuned in fourths. You got E and A, that's a fourth, A and D, etc. Obviously until you get down to the B string, which is tuned in a third. So I want to run over that method real quick, and you know, you guys can try it out and let me know what you think. And I've used that method for, gosh, years and years and years. I think I just kind of stumbled onto it by habit. But I think it does create a more stable and accurate tuning. But I'd like to start off. I'll run through the standard method. Obviously, most of you know the standard method, but the reason that I want to touch on it real quick is because when I said that a lot of people don't know what to listen for, I find that if I start with the standard method and show you what you're listening for, that the fourth intervals and the fifth intervals and the octaves, which again we will be working on with this method that I'm going to show you, are a lot easier to hear. So with the standard method, let's start here at the low E string, 5th fret. I'm gonna match that to the A string. Now that sounds pretty dead on. Now what I'm listening for is a very pure sounding note. You want these notes to sound exactly the same, okay? So let me demonstrate. I'm gonna detune this low E string just a little bit, and you should be able to hear a bit of a wah wah wah, bit of a difference, a bit of a wave in between those two intervals. Okay, and that's a little much. Tuned it back up. Okay, there's still a wave there. Now again, a lot of people would just move on and say, well, okay, the pitches are close, I'm going to move on. But you don't want that chorus effect. Even if you are going to use your standard method of tuning, you don't want that chorus effect. Because what happens is, yeah, your 2A string, two notes here may be decently in tune, okay? But as you move on down the guitar, all of these cumulative errors can add up, and you're not really going to have a good tuning. So, again, if you want to use the 5th fret method and stick with that, that's absolutely fine. Just know what to listen for. Again, you're listening for a very pure interval. Okay, that's not good enough. So there we go. Okay, that's pretty dead on. A little bit of up a coarse effect in the D, in the open D. Okay, I just kind of gave away my new method there. But yeah, I'm not going to go all the way through that and take up a whole bunch of video time. So, but with the method of tuning using the open strings, what you do there is you actually start. I normally start with my A string, tuning the A string either to a keyboard or a A440 reference pitch on YouTube, or your friend's guitar that you're jealous of, just whatever means you have available. You can start with your low E. That's just fine as well. I just tend to start with the A string just because I tend to hear the interval a little bit better when I'm tuning the low E string instead of the A string. But anyway, so to use this method, again, start with the A string, make sure it's in tune, and then we're gonna play our open E string and our A string together. Okay, just like with these two pitches here, you want to make sure that this interval of fourth is pure. What I mean by that is there's no waves or you use the word waves here. No waves in that interval. So okay, it's good right now. I'm gonna detune this E. I'm pretty sure, hopefully you can hear that through the recording. It's just a whoa, 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 whoa. Just a fast beat. I'm gonna detune it more. Now obviously you can tell that the pitch is changing at this point, so it's pretty far out of tune. I'm gonna tune it back up and tune it pure. Right there. Okay, that's what we want now. These two strings are perfectly in tune, and if you want to test it, you can test it against the fifth interval of a fifth, which is the second fret on the A string. Okay, so that's in tune. That's ready to go. Now you can move on to your tuning your D string. Wow, wow, wow. That's what you should be hearing. Hopefully, again, that's coming through. Very subtle. But I'll tune it again pure. Okay, test it against the fifth. Okay, I hear a slight bit of wave in the fifth, but again, it's very, very subtle. Pull it up. There we go. Okay, so that's another test that you can do also with to kind of verify things. Is notice that I used the octave here on the second fret D string. It's a little out of tune. Pull the D up a little bit. Drop the E. Okay, so I've got the first three strings in tune. Keep going. Again, testing that against the fifth. Now, when I get to the B string, there's a couple things that I do. I actually test it against what are they? Third fret, because that's a D octave. And obviously, that's way out. Well, I'll do it this way. So those are pretty good. Now, one thing that I do with the B string, because again, it's not a fourth. What you can do is just put your finger on the second fret here and make it a fourth. Okay, that's a little out. There we go. It's pretty good. But also, what I tend to do is verify things on the B string using the octave, like that on the third fret. And if I tend to, if I can tell that it's out, I'll kind of stretch the string a little bit just to kind of see how far up or down I need to move it down here. It's still a little. Some new strings on this guitar. Okay, so those are good. Now for the E string, you just tune it just like an open fourth, and then at this point you should have a very accurate tuning. And one thing that you can use to test that, again, is would be to use chords like G or C or whatever. Because if you play them slowly, you can hear if any of the strings have drifted or moved a bit. So maybe the way that I've shown this, maybe I've drug it out a little bit, so I'm going to actually detune this guitar a little bit and just kind of show you how fast you can have things tuned up using this method once you get good at it. So A string, and there we go, we're in tune. So one other thing I'd like to talk about real quick is again, this same concept applies when you tune down to low D. A lot of guitar players, when they tune down to low D, you tune this they'll do that, and that's about all they'll get. And a lot of times they will be out because, again, what they're listening for is just the pitch. But if you listen, if you kind of start below the pitch and again make sure that there's no wave in the note, and then you'll be perfectly in tune there as well. And then a lot of times when going back up from drop D, a lot of people do this. They'll use the open E string as a reference, which is not the best idea because you have an octave here and an octave here. That's really too big of a span to really hear what's going on. So although, okay, I got that pretty close, but it is possible that you could still be out a little bit on that E string. You could either match it against your open A, like that, or you could match it, against your octave on the second fret here, D string. So I'm still a little out of tune because I've got a trim system on this guitar it's not really plugged up at the moment, but it is, since it's floating, it still stretches my strings out a little bit. So sorry about that. But anyway, I hope this system of tuning is helpful. And if you have any questions, hopefully I haven't drugged out too much. But feel free to comment and subscribe and let me know what you think. Thank you.